Okay, guys, it's Jess, and it's 8:30 at night on September 19th. I told you I'd be here all day. I did stop to go pick up my son for baseball, watched him play a little bit. They had a little picnic, and then I did take a little bit of a nap because I was exhausted from getting up so early. And then I had dinner with my kiddos, and so I probably took, I would say, about a 2.5 hour break in between when I spoke to you last and now. I just got done entering all my packets into the spreadsheet. So I have 18 different tabs on the bottom of the spreadsheet, all listed by the student's name, because I'm doing a volleyball fundraiser, so it's per student. And again, just as a recap, I have the student's name in the first column, the name of the client, the last name, the subtotal, the tax, the total amount, payment type, address, city, state, zip, phone, evening phone if they give it to me, email, and any notes that I want to put. So in this process, I don't even know what number fundraiser this is. I've done so many. Again, I told you in our last video that you learn something new every day in every fundraiser. So I've decided that it would be beneficial for me to basically, since I'm taking the steps to make a spreadsheet, is to add columns at the top instead of just doing payment and writing cash or credit card or the check number, having a column for each one, because then I can just subtotal or auto sum what I should have in cash and what I should have in checks and credit cards, right? So that's faster. So then I don't have to take the time to count up all the cash of what I should have and count up, so obviously I have to count the cash, but I mean, as far as in the order forms, it's already there in the spreadsheet for me. So then I can just count, okay, yes, I do have X amount of dollars in cash. That's how much I should have. And it does it for me. So we always want to be working smarter, not harder. So every fundraiser I do, I find a little trick that makes it a lot easier for me. And so right now I'm just auto summing the subtotal for the total sales for my last student. Now, my next step is, now that all of that's in there, remember, I haven't even started to put in my orders yet. Why? Because I was doing all that. Now, the next step, I want to show you all this money that I have to deposit, okay? This is almost $4,000 in cash, okay? And checks. So now that I have it all in here, and I went through and I verified I have it all, I'm going to take it all out, and the next step of what you need to do is to have your deposit slip, because you'd want to separate all your checks into one section, and then your cash in another. So then you'll be able to write down all the check numbers of what's being deposited. And if you have a lot of checks, I suggest to do deposits, like a couple deposits. And so because you're not going to have enough room to deposit all the checks on one deposit slip, just so you're aware. So don't go to the bank and just get one deposit slip. You want to make sure you have a few, depending on how many checks that you're going to have. So that's one step that you want to make sure you do. Okay. So a little tip, you want to make sure you're doing this somewhere safe. You obviously don't want to be doing this at your job or at the Burger King while you're eating lunch or anything, because this is a lot of cash that you're dealing with. So you want to be somewhere safe that you don't have to worry about being, people looking at you or anything. I'm in the privacy of my own home in my office. I actually have a lock on my door, so when I'm not in here and I am responsible for all this cash, I lock my office door. Now, do I have anybody that I can't trust? No, but it's extra security. And then I also have it in the lockbox. So I suggest that you do that. The faster you get this deposit into the bank, the better. Unfortunately, today is Saturday and the banks are closed because I had to wait an extra day to get the remainder of the packets because unfortunately, high school kids, that's not their type priority to remember that they have to bring a packet in. So my deadline was Thursday and I knew that there'd be stragglers, so I had to go pick up the rest of the packets on Friday, which pushed me back a day in doing all this. So now I could have deposited everything on Saturday morning before the banks closed, but unfortunately, so now I have to wait till Monday. But this is why I give myself plenty of time to do all this. So now it's the 19th, and so if I'm not depositing till Monday, I'm going to have to wait at least probably minimum till Wednesday or Thursday for all these to close and to clear all these checks before I can actually place the order. So what I'll be doing after I deposit all my money in the next couple days, I will be entering my orders. So I will have at least 3 days to enter everything. So that's the process that you want to do. And the biggest process is counting all your cash. Even though you've already done it per order, now you got to count your cash of what you're actually going to be depositing. A lot of the deposit slips have like how many $100 bills are you doing, how many $20 bills. Some of them don't. They just want to know the cash, and then you break down your coins. So because I do have a lot of coins, as you can see. So that's going to take a little bit of time. I suggest to do it when you're not going to be interrupted, when you don't have to stop and do something. That's why when I was doing my spreadsheets, I knew I didn't want anything to do with cash, like this part right now, because I knew I had to stop and go get my son. They were having a picnic at the baseball field. I knew I was going to want to take a break with my kids. We all fell asleep and took a nap together. It was really nice. And then we woke up, we had dinner, and then I'm back in my office. And now I can not stop until I've done this part. So that's a big step, is just make sure that you have time, no distractions. Turn off your phone. Don't be, having to stop and because you're losing count. You'll get frustrated because you're like, oh my God, I just got done. I almost was done counting this cash. Now I don't know what I do. So a little tip that I do is I have a piece of paper and I write down in increments. So I will take all my hundreds, all my 20s, and I will put, I think there's more, but, for right here, right on top is $300 bills. So what I'll do is I will put, write down $300 bills. So then I know if for some reason something does I get distracted, like my children, which is unfortunately gonna happen, I'll at least know where I was up until a certain point. So I'm not starting all over again. Okay, so that's very, very important. Do increments. Also, while you're doing your spreadsheet, just a little tip, make sure you're saving your spreadsheet as you go, because you will be very upset with yourself if something happens and you didn't save all the work that you did. So every single sheet that you put in, every student, just make sure you save it and then go on to the next one. That's just a little tip for me. Make sure you file all your documents and your spreadsheets in a file under that organization. I have a Durango High School volleyball fundraising file under fundraising. So it's a Sensi file, and then it's business, and then fundraiser. So Sensi, business, fundraiser, and then in the fundraising file is Durango High School volleyball. And then in there, I have its own file for fall 2015 because they do one every fall for me. So I need to know what year I'm doing. And so everything is in the 2015 fall folder in my computer. So hopefully that makes sense. But the more organized you are, the easier you'll be able to get to things, know where you're going, go back to it. So document as you go. So that's just a little tip. That's my next step. Is I'm going to be writing down and calculating all the cash and the checks and the coins that I'm going to be depositing. So Monday morning, I will be able to go in and put that deposit. Now, I suggest a bank bag. Don't go in with a wad of cash with just, a rubber band or, envelopes are fine, but these Scentsy bank bags, this is a great way to start conversations. You know, you come with this big deposit and they'll be like, oh my gosh, what Scentsy, what the heck? And you can say, yes, I do fundraisers and I'm donating my commission to my this organization, and you may get another fundraiser from it. You may get another client. You may get a consultant because they love to help people and they want to fundraise too. You just never know. But this is nice and safe, zipped up. You're not going to lose anything, and you can put it in your purse and then just pull it out. So, and then you just can put your deposit slips all ready to go when you go to the bank. Okay? That's my second tip for September 19th for fundraisers, is the cash of how to actually enter everything. All right. I think that's it. Oh, make sure that you endorse your checks. Also, make sure when you are speaking to the coordinators and you do your proposal, please make sure that they write the check out to you. I had some people write it out to Scentsy, but what I'm saved because I actually have independent Scentsy director on my checks, so they know that that's me. With my name, so since it's on there, so I can just put Jessica Markowitz, and then you know, most of them put like fundraiser on their check, so it kind of validates it. But you don't want to have to risk it and then having to call them and can you write another check and this and that. So make sure. So this takes time, like I said, to make sure everything's proper, everything's endorsed, and I think that's basically it. I'm going to be doing several different processes as I finish this this fundraiser, and then I'm starting the boys varsity volleyball team in a couple weeks. So I will be showing you the process of me actually setting it up. So I've done it before, but I'm going to do it again because I know you guys have been asking for it. So, but just please make sure you watch the ones that have already been done. But I am happy to do them as I do them because I told you I learned something new. So if I'm learning something new, I will share it with you. Okay, and if you know anything that'll help, that I'm not thinking of, that'll make my fundraisings even easier and more fun, or productive, whatever, successful, please share underneath, or email me at markowitzjess.com. I mean, I guess I need to make myself one. markowitzjess@gmail.com. Okay. Thank you. Have a sensational night. Until next time. Bye-bye.